In the wake of the devastation caused by the soda fire, land managers, ranchers, and conservationists are working on ways to prevent a catastrophic fire from happening again. Problem is, none of them see eye to eye, and the science is far from settled. Jake Melder is live in studio with the story.
Talk to a rancher and they'll say that grazing eliminates grasses that spread wildfire, effectively making the land safer. Conservationists will tell you the invasive species are a result of cattle operations, and hanging in the balance is the future of a species as well as a billion-dollar industry. Wildfire is the #1 threat to sage steppe habitat, an ecosystem used both by cattle and the threatened sage grouse. The Idaho Cattle Association argues when wet springs lead to a boom in annual grasses, additional grazing reduces fire threat.
Those invasives are still feed, and they're still can be utilized in some capacity. And in the process of utilizing them, we can control the problem.
They point to a 14-year study by the USDA in Oregon that shows land grazed by cattle is less likely to be overrun with invasive cheatgrass. If managed carefully, ranchers say grazing can help sustain fire-resistant land.
Cows are a tool in the management practice, but it's not a cookie-cutter type of a system. We have to be able to adjust to the season, to the year, and to what the resource provides.
However, conservationists at the Western Watersheds Project dispute the research. Instead of cattle curbing invasive grasses, they argue that grazing allows cheatgrass to thrive.
We need to protect those areas from livestock grazing, protect the soil crust from livestock grazing. If we don't, there will be an invasion of cheatgrass and medusa head.
They bring out their own scientific study, which shows a correlation between grazing and creation of a superior environment for non-native grasses to take root. And over time, the grasses choke out any native plants, becoming a sea of fine fuel in late summer.
There's very little value, if any value, to these monocultures of these species.
While the BLM forms a final strategy for rehabilitating the soda fire burnout, department leaders say they will use a combination of native and non-native bunch grasses to stabilize the soil and reclaim some of the hundreds of square miles of destroyed habitat. The BLM restricts cattle from grazing on burnouts until the land is reestablished. Ranchers are fighting the policy, arguing that cattle can graze on invasive grasses as they sprout up in the spring before slow-growing native plants are good eats for the cows. We expect a finalized plan for the soda fire burnout on September 21st. Live in studio, Jake Melder, 6 on your side.